Ja, meine lieben Damen und Herren, heute bei der Austrian Masters, bei den Finals hier auf der GameCity, neben mir der Clan-Manager vom Team RizeGaming, leider auf Englisch das Ganze, denn der gute Mann kommt aus Großbritannien, ist extra angereist für die GameCity und wird mir ein paar Fragen beantworten zum Team RizeGaming selbst. Sein Name, sein Nickname ist Hulk. Your nickname is Hulk, that's right?
That's correct, yeah. I'm Mike, aka Hulk, yeah.
Okay, Mike, aka Hulk. My first question is, when was RizeGaming founded? When did you bring up the idea of RizeGaming?
Yeah, I started in 2009, kind of just as a hobby project, really. Sort of playing games with some of my friends, and by the time it was 2011, I decided to take on more of a professional organization involving more teams. And becoming a professional organization. So from 2011 is, I guess, where the esports side of things really started and took off for RizeGaming.
Okay, so 2011 was the first esport team in RizeGaming. What was the first esport team?
It was a Counter-Strike Source team from Portugal originally. They were a pretty good team, but then we sort of developed and moved into a much bigger community in Sweden. Where we then took on a much better quality team in Counter-Strike Global Offensive, which was released kind of around about that time in 2012.
Counter-Strike, today we're playing Dota. Which games does RizeGaming play? Which games do you support with your team?
Well, of course, I've just mentioned there, we support Counter-Strike Global Offensive. As you can see, today we're here because we support Dota 2. This is a full Austrian lineup for Dota 2, and of course we're in Austria. We also support Ultra Street Fighter 4. We have a UK player who's sort of performing great. He's across Europe, also in America, hopefully soon. We also support a Call of Duty Xbox team. They're on the console side of things. They're looking to sort of progress and build up their skills with it, to sort of meet the levels that we're seeing already with Counter-Strike and Dota 2.
Okay, so how are new games? How is the meaning, the support of new games? Like, for example, the next year maybe will come out Heroes of the Storm or any other shooter. Do you support new games?
Yeah, I think we always try and look for sort of new titles that come into esport. Of course, there's been talks of Heroes of the Storm, as you mentioned. It is, it's run by Blizzard. I think it's always dependent on the community backed behind it, and with Blizzard backing it, and Blizzard being a huge company, they know how to sort of organize games. And with the success of Hearthstone as well, I think that's something that we could look at. But I think for the moment, we're in the MOBA division. We will only look for maybe 2 MOBA games, because then they can sort of rival one another. Maybe adding a third would spoil that dynamic. At the moment, we don't have a League of Legends team, so potentially Heroes of the Storm, depending on its success, could become the second MOBA game which would rival the Dota 2 team that we already have. Regarding other games, there's currently a game called Nosgoth, which we've been focusing on, sort of keeping an eye on, should we say, every time we go to events. We're going to see the progression within esport for that game, and maybe looking to sort of expanding into that. But for now, we're very happy with the teams that we have, and we're just going to wait and see, really.
We heard a lot of new games right now coming up next seasons. So what is the best way to join RizeGaming?
As I sort of said in the other question, we always want to keep it small, keep it compact, and focus on the games that we currently have. So I think really looking at the new games would be the best possible way at the moment, sort of developing your ability within a game that doesn't currently have much of a focus within a team. We actually have a demand for a 1v1 fighting games, FIFA, those type of StarCraft 2, 1v1 esport titles. We are always looking for sort of new developments within that, new players. So I suppose right now, those are the games that we would sort of actively say, yeah, we're looking for players in those games. Regarding other games, like I say, we have to wait and see with those.
Okay, you've got already very well established teams. So what is the biggest success of RizeGaming? What do you say that was our biggest achievement in esport?
Okay. Well, obviously, I think it's probably unfair to say what is the biggest or the best, because I think everybody in Rise is sort of doing, they're working really hard to sort of achieve their own ambitions as well as, the targets that we set and what we expect of them. But I would have to say one of the most important victories was one of our Counter-Strike teams in one of the first LANs that we attended, and I think the reason for that is because it set the wheels in motion regarding having the belief in teams. To, it was the first sort of LAN. We didn't know what to expect. Now I think it gave us a chance to sort of have faith and ambition and sort of drive the teams on that we take from that first win, really. And I think without that, we probably wouldn't be here today, the way in the capacity that we are.
Okay, so a lot of faith, a little bit of luck, big skill on the side of RizeGaming. Personal question: how long have you been personally active in esport? I know we are already like the old guys for esport.
Well, speak for yourself.
I hopefully not. But how long have you been doing esport?
Well, I've been playing sort of esport titles for probably about 12, 13 years, personally. But I think from a certain level, I would say from around about 2005, 2006 was when I truly sort of was participating in the level that is sort of seen today. I think esport is growing more and more, and it kind of drives me. It's kind of the drive behind what I'm doing with Rise is the growth in Dota, the growth in Counter-Strike, the growth in all these games that are sort of having great backing with great, sponsors, big events, huge numbers of viewing audiences. But I would say around about almost 9 years ago was when I truly sort of understood esport, and I think that's one of the passion for business that I have, but also the passion for esport is what sort of keeps me sort of doing this kind of thing and wanting to improve it even more so.
Okay, and last question: what do you expect from this tournament here at GameCity? Your team, we're on the first day today, and your team is doing already very well. What's the expectation for the tournament?
I think I'm always keeping a low key when it comes to expectations, but what I can tell you is I do want to win this. I think it's a big tournament. It's big for the guys who are all Austrian, of course, and as you know, this is sort of their chance to represent Austria on the big stage in Baku. They all want that. I want that for the team. So yeah, the expectation, I guess, we are favourites. I think I believe we're the #1 team in Austria for Dota 2. I think we should prove that at every event that we go to. As far as expectation, yeah, I expect us to win this, and maybe if we do, then you can ask me the question: what was our biggest win?
Okay, I will. Thank you very much for the interview, and we'll see the next days how your team is going to do. Vielen Dank für euch fürs Einschalten. Das war das Interview mit dem Manager von RizeGaming.HLK, kurz Hulk, hier direkt live aus der GameCity 2014 Austrian Masters Finale auf StreamingXP.tv.